I know you've been working hard on your first. Welcome, guys. I'm glad you're here. Matt, hi. How you doing?
Hi. So good. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Last time we saw each other, we were at community camp, and I was just like blown away by that whole experience. I came back different. How about you?
Oh, it was a great time. I love seeing everyone in person. That's just it's the best feeling ever, seeing the entire family.
Yeah, I think it was Rocky who had the joke. He was like, "You have legs."
That's pretty funny.
How's business been?
Business is great. We're really trying to scale right now. Doing I think on average about 4 to 7 a month in Arizona alone. We do a lot of agent outreach. We do a lot of dispo and JV deals like micro flips, wholesale, all that stuff. So our deals come from a couple different sources. But yeah, I mean, we're selling about a deal.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah,
So
thank.
tell everybody what that looks like in structure to do a deal a week. What does your team look like? What are you doing daily?
We're running pretty lean right now. It's really me, and then I have two people helping me out with acquisitions now. And we just brought on our second act probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago now. So she's getting rolling. But it's me, two acts, a VA, and then a transaction coordinator, and that's our entire team as of right now. Also, too, if people are looking for a job, I'm hiring. So I mean, reach out to me. I'd love to interview some people.
Awesome. You guys get his contact information at the end. So now you got to stick around. But that would be a really cool opportunity, especially for those people that are after their first one. Working with somebody who's doing one a week, you level up like crazy so quickly because you're in the mindset of Matthew Justice, who was very cool. So do you mind maybe like rolling it back if you even can? Can you remember your first wholesale deal? How'd you get it?
So it's funny, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't sell other wholesalers deals. That's actually how I got my first deal was and the funny thing is too, right? Like we all obviously know who Jamil is and his company Keegley, right? And they're the disposition company, and I was networking with one of their disposition managers and he had a deal and I actually ended up selling the deal for him. And so that was my very first deal. I didn't know how to write up an assignment. And he basically just kind of helped me step by step through that process. So it was really cool.
That's super cool. And what I love about that is that like everybody on the chat here can literally do that same thing. They can call Keegley up and they can have conversations and make those connections so that they can work together on a deal.
I think the beauty of this business is it's not very complicated, right? Like we all try to complicate it in some sense, but realistically, you don't even have to be direct on either end. Like I wasn't direct to seller, but I was direct to buyer. I had a buyer that was looking for something specifically, and they came across that. So then it was easy for me to connect the dots, and then it could be vice versa. You could even have someone that has the buyer too that is looking for something specific, and then you come across that, and then you could just connect the dots that way and squeeze yourself in the middle. So that's the beauty of wholesaling real estate too.
It really is. When I got started, it was hard for me coming from the artsy mindset. And I know I share that with Sarah a little bit, but once I realized it was just a who can you help game and it was a who do you know game, my world opened up because I think people get caught up in the data, they get caught up in the numbers, but ultimately there are people out there that can help you with those numbers.
100%. Yeah. You can be direct to seller and have someone know exactly where you need to be on deals and help you lock it up. And then even vice versa, like you don't have to be direct on either end. There's always plenty of ways to fit yourself into some deals.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I think we should jump straight into Privy because honestly, I could probably just talk to you all day and like interview you, which would be super fun. But I want to show people how we're finding our deals and how we're using Privy to do that. And so for anybody, if you don't have Privy yet, I want to let you know that it's so much better and so much easier if you do have it to follow along with us. And ultimately, I know that you're going to love it because as a realtor, as somebody who has access to the MLS, I still use Privy. So I've got a promo code for you, and Natasha's already got you covered in the chat. It's DAMG, and that's going to get you 30% off a annual package or 20% off your first month if you go that route. So let's jump right in. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go Privy. All right, we're in Arizona today. Also, guys, if you don't mind, if you feel like in the last 6 minutes of talking to Matt, you learned something, will you drop an emoji? Because I feel like I did. I want to see action in that chat. I want to know you guys are here. All right. So just kind of like if this is your first time on Privy ever, I want to let you guys know that often it's best to start in the sky. Why? Because Privy already tells you where to go. So you want to follow some of those highest numbers. And I'm curious if I kind of do that, if I end up in a zone that Matthew also agrees is a good one. Would you stay in Phoenix or should I circle this whole area?
Yeah, circle the entire thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we got people literally everywhere. So I mean, you can go kind of out even into like, yeah, Cave Creek and yeah, Buckeye, go all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, guys. That is an art degree. Oh, circle. Okay. Ooh, what is this? This 102 way down here. Let's go check it out. Also, guys, that's up in the right-hand corner. If you don't know the pencil, it's really wonderful. All right, I really am curious what's going on down here. All right, as you note, I am just going towards whatever the highest number is, and I keep finding it down in this corner. So Charleston.
For those that are in Arizona or Phoenix, where we are right now, this is East Valley. And so this is actually a very hot area right now. Like this is actually where majority of my buyers are looking for deals is East Valley, which is like Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Tempe. And then we're super far east right now, which is like Quinn Creek and Santan, which there's a lot of like new developments, new builds, and just there's a lot of movement right here. So we're in a good area.
That's awesome. And I think it's fun. We can see that the Privy agent is Laura Morby. We know. All right. So this is showing active deals in that area. So if you were coming in here, this might be a great way to find buyers for somebody because you want to look for flipped properties that are currently active. Because when you've got something on the market, often you're looking for your next deal. But that's not what we're here for today, because I really want to hear, do you prefer Matt or Matthew? Because I just switch it up. You're Matty J to me.
Yeah, Matty J. It doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I really want to hear him talk to some agents, guys. Okay, so let's go actually. Should we start and filter or should we go to deals?
Up to you.
All right, let's just tell him the secret because you told me behind the scenes and I just blew my mind. So, how should I filter to be able to do what you were talking about?
Yeah, so scroll down and go to keywords where it says add keyword right there. Add keyword.
Oh, yes, here.
Yeah, so that basically will search all the listing descriptions for the words that we're about to put in there. So I would put in like investor and then don't hit enter because I just tried it and it like just started automatically searching. Just like click off the screen and see if it adds it. Don't put like try to click it first. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so now I just added investor. Do like handyman. That's another good keyword.
Y'all, I hope you have your pencils out. Ooh, I hit enter. I did exactly what you told me not to do. It's like a
See, that's what I did last time too. And I'm like, man, I think they took the feature off.
Okay, let's try again. We said handyman. Click off. There we go. What are some other ones? 2 or 3 more.
Must sell. Motivated is a good one.
That's a great one.
For the creative finance people, you could put assumable.
Super smart. All right.
Yeah, that's good, honestly.
Yeah, but the beauty of it is this is where you get creative, right? Is like what does your buyer want even? Because then you can find MLS deals through this. This is so awesome. This is something that you can find on the MLS that I'd never really even recognized was in Privy. And it's so cool that it's built into Privy. There's nothing that's not built into Privy, y'all.
So the cool thing about this too is with the MLS, at least here in Arizona, you can actually only search like one keyword at a time. So like on Privy, you can actually search multiple. So it makes it a lot easier for you to find way more listings. Because even like Zillow, I don't think you can only do one at a time, maybe Redfin one at a time. So this is super helpful.
It is. And for those that, are curious on the rest of the search, aside from those keywords, looking for single family, we're in the drawn area and we want actives because we're after agents who are going to be able to have conversations with us and hopefully even bring us some off markets. So that's what we've got there. Should we filter anything here? Do you usually, or do you just go for your keywords?
I just go for the keywords. I'm down to call anything really.
That's right. That is the quote of the day. I'm down to call anything really. All right. And look right down here in the corner, there's the matches.
Cool. Oh, there we go.
Ooh, yes, they're getting uglier over here on the left corner as it refreshes, and that's what I want to see. All right. So this has been active for 2 days. In your particular method, do you contact day 1, day 2 people, or do you only contact in the like 30 days range?
For me, I want to talk to as many people as humanly possible, so it does not matter.
I'm keeping track of that one particular question because I'm really curious. We know a lot of deals come from after they've been sitting on market for a while, but most of the big players that I've talked to all say that they want to be talking to a distressed home buyer on day 1 so that they can be remembered and get it in the follow-up.
Yeah, 100%. I'm here to establish a relationship with the agent, and that's really about it, right? So it doesn't even matter. I'm just trying to talk to the agent. If I get this one under contract, that's obviously amazing, but really I'm looking for the future properties.
Perfect. Brian, I just saw the question about how do you draw the circle, and it's this little pencil up in the right-hand corner anytime you're looking at the map. Let's just click into this first one. Looks perfectly ugly in every way. All right. So we've got a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 800 square feet, 1 story, 1952. This is all up in the right-hand corner. So you immediately get a picture of what kind of property we're dealing with. And then I want to flip through the photos just so we can see, is it ugly? And I think it really stands up to that. Would you call it ugly, Matt?
I call it beautiful.
It's beautiful to find ugly properties. And I love finding people in photos. It's one of my favorite things. Okay. Where do you go after here? Just walk me through the process. I'll be your hands.
Personally, I just go straight for the phone number.
Nice. Straight for the phone number. Let's do it, guys. Who wants to hear Matt call an agent? He didn't even look at the comps. He's ready to go. He wants to talk to somebody.
So that's actually something that I would like to address is I personally do not like looking at comps before I call. For me, I write the story in my head of whatever this agent is thinking, right? Or a seller, if I look at comps and I'm like, man, they're significantly overpriced, I'll start telling myself they're never going to take this offer. Like it's not going to go well. And I write that story in my head before I even call. So my calls just don't go well. So personally, for me, I think it's better that I don't comp the properties. Plus, it also forces me to ask more questions. You'll see, I'll ask the agent too, like, hey, what do you think this will be worth after it's totally fixed up? And that's just something that I personally like to do is I want to get their opinion as well.
Guys, I love that. I really like that, especially since we're already talking about the fact that it's not about the property, it's about the relationship that you could potentially make with this agent. So I am dropping you their name and number now, and then I will go back to the screen so you can see what property you're calling about. Alrighty, there we go, guys. Share.
So the funny thing about this specific property is I've seen this one already from wholesalers. So
Oh, no.
I'm gonna ask him about that too, just to see, because he may, sometimes here in Arizona, there's a lot of times where agents are wholesalers, and so they'll go and get a contract and actually put it on the MLS, or they are working with a wholesaler and they'll end up putting it on the MLS as well. So this could possibly be a wholesaler that has this property, or it ended up falling out and the agent is now listing it again because it's only been listed for 2 days. And I've seen this property since, it looks like, March. So I just want to point that out. But cool.
I want to point out that, when you first saw this property, because I know that means good SOPs and good KPIs. That's just cool stuff, guys. Okay, while he's about to make this call, I do want to remind you that if you don't have Privy, it's absolutely the best, and I really believe that. So I highly suggest it as your first tool if you're going down the wholesaling route. So please consider it. Last name Damji is going to get you 30% off an annual or 20% off the first month if you go that route.
Will you tell me what the last number of his phone number was? I accidentally deleted it.
Yes, I will. If I can re-find it. Give me 2 seconds. It is a 3.
Okay. All right, cool. All right.
Oh.
Hello, you've reached Mountain Lake Realty. If your realtor wanting to show a property, look in the private remarks of the MLS for showing instructions. If your realtor asking a question about a property, you need to email us at arizonamountainlakerealty@gmail.com. Please do not leave a message.
It said, please don't leave a message.
I run across these kinds of listings pretty often now, and it's often sellers trying to save some money by listing with, basically they pay like $100, $200 to not really have a realtor, but to get it on the MLS.
It's like
Do you
a
think
like
that's
a
this?
flat fee. I don't think that this one is this, because Thomas is like a legit realtor. And I just looked up his name, and this looks like it's an office phone number.
Okay, let's see if we can find a personal number. In those cases, or on this property, do you want to dig that far and take it into True People search?
I'm honestly just going to, that's a good way to do it, but I'm probably just gonna look on the MLS first
Perfect.
to see.
One of my favorite questions for those out there who's like, well, how are you going to be able to tell whether this agent is the contract holder as a wholesaler or whether they're actually serving as an agent? One of the things I often ask is, can I have an inspection period on this? Because the answer is going to be yes from an agent and no from a wholesaler, is generally the case. That's an overarching theme. So that gives me just kind of a feel for what kind of project I'm going after.
Yeah. This, it looks like all the numbers that are listed for this property are the office.
Okay. Well, yay. I think it's really funny. Any agent or wholesaler will say this, like, why do you want to sell your property if you're not going to be contactable? That's the whole point.
Right.
But let's keep going, guys. Let's see another one. That was the first one. And it could be a deal. Like if you get a hold of the right people and have that conversation, see what else is on the list. That looks quite nice. I'm just going to keep scrolling.
Well, let's click it. You never know. Let's look at the listing description. If it says anything about them being motivated, that looks like a flip. So I probably wouldn't do that one though. That flipper may be motivated, to be honest, but that's really what we're looking for, right? We're just looking for motivated sellers. It doesn't matter. We're problem solvers. Property doesn't have to be distressed, you know. Pace or Jamil's good friends with Pace. We can try and do something creative, you know, so it doesn't matter the condition of the property. What matters is the motivation of the seller.
I love that. That's such a good reminder, because I think we can so often pass on things that look nice. And the longer they're sitting on market, yeah, the more they might need us as a creative and thoughtful buyer. I like the little kitchen set matches the big one. It's cute. I see some slightly ugly exterior. I'm hoping we're going the right way. Ooh. Oh yeah. Clean.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. I like it. Let's see about getting you a number. All right, y'all. I'm just giving him the number I see here on Privy. Oh. I found a better one. All right, there we go. Matt, I see you. Congratulations on your first contract. Get it sold.
Let's go. All right.
And we're back to sharing screens so you know the property address. Calling the lovely Anne Marie today.
Hello?
Hi, Anne.
Hello?
Hello, is this Anne?
Yes,
Hi, my name is Matt. I'm calling to see about that property on Mercer Lane. Is it still available?
yes, it is.
Amazing.
We have an offer in that we're trying to negotiate, but we don't have
Okay.
anything finalized.
Is it asking or above asking?
It's not very far off of asking.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm located in Tucson, but we buy properties all over the valley. I wanted to give you a call and kind of run through some things first before we possibly submit an offer. Could you just tell me like a little bit about the condition?
Well, have you been able to see the pictures online?
Yeah, but I was just more curious to see like big ticket items like roof, HVAC, you know, water heater, that type of stuff.
The HVAC is 2 years old. I'm not sure the water heater age, but it has a solar tank that has warm water that goes into the water heater. The roof is original.
Okay.
There's solar, tunable solar leaf on it.
Oh, there's solar on it
Mm-hmm.
and it's leased?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that's assumable?
Yes, without any fees.
Okay, cool. That's good at least. Do you know kind of what like the payments are on that? Just off the top of your head?
He's about 10 years into the 25-year lease, and the payment is about $107 now, and it tops out at about $122.
in the 25th year.
Okay. The people that you guys are negotiating with, are they a conventional buyer?
Yes.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, honestly, I don't know 100% if this is something that we would be interested in just because of the solar alone. Solar just makes it tough for us to rehab properties and resell them and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, we're trying to pick up a couple more before the end of the month that look kind of like this, just like original and dated. Do you have anything else like that possibly coming up to market?
I don't, but I know that there's one, if it's still available, about 548, and I think it has a new roof and a newer air conditioning unit, and it's in North Scottsdale.
Amazing.
I can't remember. I'd have to look it up and see if it's still available. It just came on a couple of days ago, but it definitely would be a perfect rehab, and it's a little higher end neighborhood.
Okay, cool. And
this
this one's listed.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's like someone in your brokerage is listing?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, send me the address anyways. I would love to take a look at it. You know, because like I said, we're trying to pick up a couple more before the end of the month.
Okay. Well, if I send it to you, are you going to be contacting the listing agent, or would you go through me?
No, I'd go through you. I would like to at least see it first because I do know that we have a couple people on our team that do make offers on the MLS. So I'll let you know too if we did end up actually offering on it beforehand or not.
Okay. Do you have an email you can text me?
Yeah, I'll text it over to you as soon as we hang up.
Okay. I'm on my way to a showing right this minute, so it'll probably be about an hour before I can send it to you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Nice. That's awesome. Tell us about that call. Why is this not the right fit? How did it go?
So, honestly, I mean, first looking at the comps right away, right? It's like, it's probably pretty tight, you know? They already have a conventional buyer. Like, I basically, realistically, what this business is qualifying and disqualifying properties as quickly as you possibly can. And so first off, she said, we have an offer. So then my response was, cool, is it at asking or above it? Because they can't tell you an actual number, but she said it's not too far off. So obviously we know it's close, or it could be about 25K off. And then looking at the comps, right? It's like nothing's really sold. In order for me to buy this property, it needs to sell for about like 750K. So it's super tight. And it doesn't look like there's anything in the area that sold for 750. Then she goes, there's solar on it, which if it's leased, it's hard for an LLC cannot put a solar lease in their LLC. So they would have to do it in their personal name, which a lot of buyers don't want to go through. So it just makes it very difficult for not only us to sell to an investor, but then now that investor that goes and flips the place is going to have to now have someone else assume the solar loan. So now it makes it even harder. And sometimes you have to price properties differently. They say solar adds value to your property. It's honestly not true. Whenever I hear solar, unless it's owned outright or the seller will pay it off with the purchase of the home, then I'll actually go ahead and move forward on it. But if there's solar on it, I am 9 times out of 10 going to just decline it.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing your secrets. If you guys are happy that Matt is sharing your secrets, will you show him some love in the chat, please? I'm just really excited about that because that was so fast, which means we get to now move on. Not only that, you have another address coming to you.
Amazing. And so what my text message looks like is I just said "and" with an exclamation mark and said, was great talking to you, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Here's my email, Matt Justice, best friend who buys all the houses.
Yes. Oh, Hope you guys all wrote that down. Because ultimately that's what it is, like that follow-up text that says, hey, I'm a real person and I really am going to connect with you. It's awesome. You need that. Let's keep going. I'm ready to keep going. Let's see what else we can get done today. I remember when we first talked about doing this, what you said was, let's get a deal done from start to finish in an hour. And I really believe that with as quickly as you can qualify properties, that you can do it. And that's
Let's do
so
it.
fun.
So the follow-up text again was Anne exclamation mark, was great talking to you, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Here's my email, sent my email, and then put my name, Matt Justice, best friend who buys all the houses, with a smiley face.
Let's click on this one. Oh, this has a before and after. When I'm going in Privy, one of the first things I go is, oh, is there a before and after? Because ultimately that tells me that it was bought and it's trying to be sold after being bought in a short period of time. I want to know what
Looking at
happened.
this, just look at the pictures real quick. Let's look at the flooring.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I thought it looked different.
But it was purchased just a few months ago, so this might have been just a clean out to get on market. Just go to comparables, just for a quick glance, and then I'll send you over the number if you want to call on it, or do you want to keep moving?
Let's keep moving. I've seen this one and I am pretty sure it's an investor who bought it and is reselling. Cool. That one looks solid.
Yeah. Oh, this could take this into a nice Southwest vibe with the right finishes.
I love that kitchen.
It's cute with the double oven. Look at that molding down at the bottom of the flooring.
Oh
They
yeah.
need they
Oh,
need a.
excited.
All right. Just to take a peek, because you just gave us a hot tip that we've got to see what's going on in an area. Is there even prices above what we're looking at? How do you normally control your settings in terms of looking at comparables? Will you just reset and take what Privy gives you, or is there something specific you put?
I'm really just trying to find what's sold in the last like 3 months. And then Privy will do a good job kind of giving me the rest of the I guess comparable criteria, right? Like square feet, year build, that type of stuff. That's really all I'm looking for. And then it would obviously be nice to see if some of these were flipped. Because that's always a good indicator of where you need to be on a property.
All right, just so you all know where my cursor is going and what I'm doing. When I hit reset over here, it's automatically going to take it back to the base of searching for comps that Privy brings you. And those are often really great because they're looking within the last, I don't know if it's within 3 to 6 months. We'll ask Benson next week. But they've always been spot on for me. The next level to that is going to be to hit settings over here and then investor only, or investor only in all, which happen to be my favorite. And then see. Let's see what it pulls up. And how do we know these are potentially flipped? We've got an original buy price and then an after buy price. This one had an extra bathroom, but was bought close to the current asking. All right, there's your glance. And now let's get you the numbers so we get you back on the phone. I'm still reeling over the fact that I, who consider myself like all things Privy, did not know about this filtering thing.
It's so nice. Like I love the percent of ARV filter too, and like hitting deals and whatnot. But I have found that keywords is just unmatched, because now you can actually find stuff that's probably a little more motivated, maybe willing to take a discount. So it's really helpful.
All right, just dropped you the number. And that's often how, if you were to call a realtor and say, hey, I want ugly properties, they're going to take basically those keywords back to the MLS to search for you. So now you're getting ahead without even having to have that call. So you know the right agents who are listing ugly properties to reach out to.
Exactly. Cool flower. All right.
Yeah. It's almost, the bed was in the kitchen.
Hey, Kevin, this is Matt. I'm calling about that listing you got on Flower Street. Is it still available?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, dude, I live in Tucson, but I just wanted to get some more information on it, thinking about writing an offer. Do you have any information on like the big ticket items?
So you're a wholesaler?
I mean, we do wholesale every once in a while, but we're doing a flip right now in Scottsdale. We've done a couple flips in Tucson. We also got a couple rentals out here. But yeah, I mean, to be upfront, we do wholesale if the money is there.
Yeah, I would definitely go check it out.
Okay, well, I live in Tucson, so I gotta get something scheduled in like probably about a week or so, and I'd rather this not slip through my fingers. So I mean, can you just tell me a little bit about it, and maybe we could still get something going?
Yeah, there's no, you can see the photos, it's dated,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, heck yeah, that's the stuff that we like.
I put properties myself, so,
Oh, you do?
yeah,
All in the valley?
yeah.
Why didn't you take this one down yourself?
We're just representing the client and there's not enough room. I'm not gonna give them a crazy lowball offer. I'm gonna try to get as much money as we can for our client.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So I mean, I honestly haven't looked at comps yet, but I mean, what are you thinking this thing would be worth?
You're the expert, man.
Sounds like you are too, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd just like to get,
That's why
other
I'm
people's
asking you.
opinions. What'd you say?
That's why I'm asking you. I'm the expert. That's why I'm asking you. You're the buyer. I'm not the buyer.
So, well, I mean, you said that there isn't enough spread on it. So, I mean, I was just curious to see what your thoughts are.
Hey, you're the expert, man. You got flips yourself. You know what's going on. You don't need me.
Well, I kind of do. I can't just go and call the seller myself.
Well, what are you trying to figure out?
Like I said, I just want to know big ticket items, like to get other
Big
people's
ticket items.
opinions,
It's an old house. It's an old house.
So roof needs to be done.
Yeah, typical stuff, right?
Cool. So I'll just,
Typical.
yeah, I'll just estimate that everything needs to be redone. So we'll need
There you
like
go.
roof, HVAC, water heater, electrical, full gut.
Yep, full gut.
Cool, man.
All right.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. This one probably isn't for me, but appreciate your
Alright.
time anyways.
No problem, man.
I'm honestly just not trying to work with people like that.
Really though, 100%. You handled that beautifully. And I've often, if I'm going to run across somebody like that, I'm like, I don't need it, right? Like, we don't need that energy. Next. And also, I think it's so funny when you run across somebody who's like, yeah, I would flip. That is the perfect question to ask next. And you nailed it. And it's, well, why didn't you take this down yourself? Because the issue and why he was being what many people in the chat are calling a jerk is because he was put in a corner by the fact that he normally flips, not enough spread for him. So why would he try to sell it to another flipper where there's not enough spread? He was like, he pinned himself into that corner. So we keep moving.
People are just so funny.
All right. Same floor. Just right on the way. Yep. grandma's house, perfectly ugly in every way. And they're going to tell you, but they've got stainless steel appliances. That's why it's priced this way. Let's just take our quick glance, or what my team calls the soft vet. I'm seeing some that are higher. That one's across a very big street though, so you probably don't want to use that one. Just a reminder, if you guys don't have this data, Natasha's helping me out in the chat and just wants to remind you that you could also have this data and also have Privy. And you do that by using the code DAMG to get 30% off a full year or 20% off the first month if you go that route. All right, so we're seeing slightly bigger numbers, but not huge. Let's see what this agent has to say. I'm going to grab that number for you. And just so you guys know, if you're like, why is Corian grabbing numbers off of Privy and I don't see numbers on Privy? If you have an agent account in Privy, you do get that backend access. If not, you're just going to take that name right over to Google, and most realtors are going to be Googleable because most want to sell houses. All right. Sorry, guys, I can't talk and type. Seems to be a thing for me. There we go. Voila.
Roger.
Oh, Roger. Oh, sorry. Let me share screen so you know what you're calling on.
I'm honestly looking it up at the same time.
Oh, okay. Just got skilled.
I like to look through the pictures when I talk to people. I don't whenever I get a property in, first thing I do is put it into Zillow or wherever I'm looking at it, and I start looking at the pictures, or even if it's a wholesaler sending me a deal, I'll look at the pictures first and call them. I just like to look at the pictures while they tell me about the deal.
It's funny you say that because while you were calling on the last one, I was just flipping through photos. So I was giving everybody that back end experience on what's happening on your screen.
I love that. That's awesome. All right, let's call Roger.
While he's calling Roger, we're all going to check out.
Hey, Roger. This is Matt. I'm calling about that listing on Barrage Lane. Is it still available?
I believe it's on a contract. Let me double check the job. Are you a buyer or agent or?
Yeah, I'm a buyer.
Okay. What's your first name?
My name's Matt.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Matt.
No, you're
any
good.
other questions immediately besides the current status?
I mean, if it's not available, I don't really want to waste my time just trying to find out about the property. You know what I mean? If it's,
I get it.
yeah. So, I mean, if you want to, yeah, cool. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. So he's going back to see if that's still available.
That's also like a good thing to ask, because sometimes they don't update the listing status like right away. So that's always my first question, as you can see with like the last 3 properties, is, hey, is it still available? Because I want to know. If it's not available, cool. Now I know, am I talking about this property, or not, am I trying to get you to send me future deals? You know?
Yeah. Because he is going to call you back with that answer, and I know what you're going to do. You're going to ask him if he's got any listings coming up.
Exactly.
All right. Back on the search. Are y'all learning stuff? Is this good? We're not wasting your time, are you? Like, I want to know that we're learning. Oh, I already saw it. Thank you. Ah, love. I appreciate it. Let's get out of this one and let's keep going.
That looks brand new.
That blue door is giving it away, right?
Yeah.
She's brown. Oh. That before and after is here, and that flooring is here. So that tells me you're probably with a flipper. And any flipper is a buyer though. So pretty much you can call on every single one of these and collect the right kind of connections to make more money.
100%. And honestly, when I first started, I didn't even look at the pictures. I would just go for the phone number, because at the end of the day, it's exactly what you're just trying to connect with people, you know. And so these people could either have buyers, they are a buyer, or you can end up actually getting this, if not future properties. So literally it's just all about smile and dial.
Smile and dial. What do our friends say? Monkey push button.
Yep.
Okay, I'm about to give you the number on this one. We don't have any photos, which I know you like them, but let's see if Mark can help you out with some info.
Cool.
There's that number. Yeah, let's see how honest Mark is indeed.
All right.
If you don't have Privy, there's a code in the chat. It's DAMG. And you can get 30% off an annual plan or 20% off your first month. You too can be like Matt Justice.
Mark, hey, this is Matt. I'm calling to see about that listing on 29th Ave. Is it still available?
It is.
Awesome. Yeah, I buy properties in the area, looking to potentially make an offer, but I see that there's no pictures. Can you tell me about the condition?
There are pictures.
Really? I don't know why it's not showing up on my little app here.
Where are you looking at it?
I'm looking at it. It's like a
looking at it?
third-party software. But let me pull it up on Zillow real quick.
On Zillow.
1, 2. That's weird.
Well, it started out with 2 exterior shots,
Oh, okay. Maybe it just didn't update. Oh, okay.
possibly.
Looks a little dated.
It is.
Okay, cool. I love that.
It has a lot of infrastructure stuff done now. The main roof is new in 2020. The air conditioner is new this year or last year. Very new. Has dual pane windows.
Amazing.
It needs inside and outside paint. It needs bathroom remodeling. It needs a kitchen remodel.
Mm.
There's some minor repairs to the back patio cover. The miscellaneous with things.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know, some drywall repair and you know, whatever industries like to put on doors and hardware and whatever. I mean, it depends on what you do.
Right. So
Yeah.
just curious, like I like to get your opinion too. If we do all that stuff, like what do you think we could get once we relist it?
4.25.
Okay.
I mean, the Airbnb depends on what you do to it, but anywhere from 400 to 450.
So you think 450 max?
I'd have to run comps, but yeah, when we listed it, that was generally what we came to with it. So I have had some investors come at me saying, "Hey, it has a pool, right?" And it does not have a pool.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that helps. That's fine though. We like to do a bunch of stuff. So you guys have been listed for 14 days. Have you gotten any offers?
Oh, like 18.
18. Holy moly.
Well, investors, it's kind of marketed as an investor property. I mean, we've
Mhm.
been looking for an owner occupant, but to be honest, in its current condition, it wouldn't pass that appraisal. So, you know, we were hoping for a conventional first-time home buyer. But there's a lot of work there. I mean, it's an investor grade property for sure.
Interesting. And so all the offers that you've gotten, they were all written investor offers?
Yeah, well, some of them are otherwise or whatever. I've had an offer at 320. My client initially rejected that. And we've had 4 offers over 300.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. We've been kind of holding out for an owner interest, but it's not been coming. We did a price reduction a week ago or so. But so far we haven't gotten any owner interest. So, I mean, they're pretty open to being flexible off the list price, but, you know, that they're also not going to give it away under 300,000 for sure. So,
Right. I don't blame you.
I hope that somebody would come up and start 320 to just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. You know, let me run my numbers and see if we could possibly
Sure.
beat that 320.
Sure.
And yeah, I'll get back to you and let you know what we could do on this.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Thank you, Mark. Have a good rest of your day. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, I liked that call. There's so much we could talk about in regards to that one. Mostly you got a bottom line out of him. Like right there at the end, it just slipped
Right.
out. Like as long as there's a 3 in front, and you're like, okay, a 301.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I didn't even have to say anything. He just spilt out all the information.
Just with the right questions. That was a great call. I think another thing I want to bring up that he had mentioned so people understand the importance of it is he's saying it's not going to pass FHA. And basically what he's saying with that is that is a specific type of mortgage loan where the house has to be at a certain level of finish. And FHA is one of the hardest, like no peeling paint, things like that. And he's saying it's not going to be able to get that kind of traditional loan, meaning mostly they're looking for the cash and investor play. They're forced into that corner, sort of.
It could possibly pass as conventional, and that always depends too, like on how much repairs actually need to be done. Like if it's like roof, HVAC, really big ticket items, it probably wouldn't also pass as a conventional or FHA, which then they for sure have to take a investor offer.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody asked in the chat, why would they wait for a retail buyer? What's the difference to them? Any insight there?
Well, so the reason that they would wait is because a retail buyer could pay more than what an investor can pay, right? Because as an investor, we have to make a profit. Like we're not in this game to break even or lose money. There's no point, you know? So we're obviously trying to make a profit. So we got to be as safe as possible, whereas the seller is trying to get the most amount as possible. And some sellers, like if they're just not motivated enough, they'll just wait, you know? And so that's why I said in the beginning too, really all we're looking for is motivation. And sometimes condition can be motivation, where if the condition's really bad, they just want to get rid of it. And so we're really just looking for why they're actually selling. And so I didn't ask him on that one, but that would be something. Like, for example, at 425 ARV, I don't think I could beat out a 320. So that's something that I would ask him on a follow-up call. It's like, hey, you know, with that 425 ARV, I totally agree. I think that's what we could sell for. But, you know, we like to push out a really good product. So we do pretty expensive remodels. So it may cost just a little bit more than the average. So we're probably not going to be the highest buyer for this. Like just curious, you know, if it doesn't sell, what is the seller going to do? And then that tells you motivation, right? I didn't ask, hey, why is the seller selling? If the seller doesn't sell, what are you guys going to do? That will tell you what the motivation is. Now he could go into a little more detail and he's like, oh, well, we're going to have to drop 40K, you know, it's like, okay, you're definitely motivated, you know? So then it's like, if I can sweeten up my offer, maybe a shorter inspection period, maybe a little more earnest money, a shorter close date. Now, maybe they'll actually just take it right now rather than waiting when they do get to that point where they are even more motivated.
The other thing that lets you slip in is if he says, well, we'll drop it, you know, 10K every week until we hit a price where somebody buys, you go, wait, please contact me before you drop it because I can pay more as long as I'm at the right number, you know, like telling people that, because if it drops and drops and drops and drops, and it's then dropped to your price and you get it under contract at your price, you're not bringing any value to your buyer. So you want it while that number is still high, and you just got the motivation in one question to figure out when to call them back.
Exactly.
It's so cool, guys. I love this game. I really do. Job, business, game, whatever you want to call it. We only have 5 minutes left, but do you think we could just try to get a hold of one more agent?
I'm down.
All right, cool. Let's see what we can do, guys. Just one more. He's so good on the phone. Oh, and by the way, before we even got up here, he was talking about how he hadn't been on the phone with agents in forever because right now he's managing his team and like riding a bike, clearly.
I guess it's just a skill you don't lose.
It's just talking to people, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're nice on the inside. Let's see if we can find that's dated, but let's find one a little bit uglier.
Oh
No
my
photos.
gosh, not this one.
Okay. So you know this.
I've never gone through a situation like this before. So we actually got this one under contract before it was listed, sold it. And then they needed to go through court approval. And so then they didn't take the property to the court before we contracted it. And so they ended up having to go by the court's rules. So that's why it's listed now. We're still technically like under contract. And yeah, I mean, I've never had anything like that. Yeah, it is Jaime.
That's funny. Proof you know your market, like even being a part of that particular contract and what's going on there. And of course, everyone is different. We're gonna have you back on to tell us how that ended up.
Yeah.
Please.
And now our buyer is kind of looking shaky. He wasn't before, but now he's like, I don't know if I really want this. He's like asking title if he can cancel and get earnest money back. So I mean, it is what it is. We'll figure out what happens with it, but that's just more motivation to go get a new deal.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think with that, I'm not going to be able to get you back on the phone, but even that alone, I just learned something. So it's super fun. And tell us what's next for the biz. What's the end of the year going to look like for you? And then how can people get a hold of you, add value to you and your business?
Yeah, so I will put my Instagram in the chat and my phone number. Oh wait, that's not my Instagram. This is my
Oh, use this opportunity. He knows what he's talking about. He does a deal a week. This is a great opportunity to connect with somebody you can learn from.
Yes, and I'm looking to hire for either acquisitions, dispositions. I need to put people in place right now. And if you're interested in that, DM me on Instagram. Please do not text me. And if you have deals or need help with deals, then there's my phone number. But if you are looking to possibly join the team, please DM me on Instagram. That'll be the best place for me to at least sort those people. And yes, I'm only working AZ as of right now. We're going very narrow before we start going wide. So we're just trying to perfect our craft.
And that we can see you are doing. So thank you for bringing all of the work that you've put in to perfect your craft to everybody that's shown up today in the chat. They're very lucky to be able to pick your brain in that way. So guys, just a reminder, we use Privy today to find all of these properties and to connect with these agents. If you don't have it yet, we highly suggest it. Get it this week, bring it to next week, and we're going to have a great time. Because honestly, this is just fun. Monkey push button, right? So use the code DAMG to make sure that you are getting your percentage off if you're going to do that this week. And thank you guys for spending your day with us here. We're so glad that you did.